On Tuesday, September 28th, paramedic engine 716 and ambulance 716 were dispatched to the McDonald's parking lot in Silver Spring for an unknown emergency. Upon arrival, crews found an unconscious patient lying in the parking lot with bystanders and the patient's daughter on the scene. The patient's daughter stated that the patient was driving her to school when the patient developed chest pains and pulled over in the parking lot. The patient presented with agonal breathing and a faint pulse. Crews assisted with ventilation and administered Narcan with no improvement in the patient's condition. At this time, the patient lost his pulse and was in cardiac arrest. A second ALS provider was requested to the scene and high-performance CPR was initiated. The patient was placed on the cardiac monitor and noted to be in ventricular fibrillation. The patient was defibrillated at 200 joules and chest compressions were resumed. A nasopharyngeal airway was placed due to the patient's teeth being clenched. The patient began to foam in the mouth and his airway was suctioned while vascular access was obtained via IV. Epinephrine and lactated ringers were administered. During the next two pulse checks, the patient remained in VFib and was defibrillated at 300 and 360 joules. Mechanical CPR was established. On the next pulse check, the patient converted to a tachycardic rhythm, with strong, palpable pulses noted, and was starting to breathe on his own. Ventilations continued, and the patient was packaged and moved to the EMS unit for transport. Once inside the EMS unit, a 12-lead EKG was obtained, and an inferior myocardial infarction was noted. Neuroprotective hypothermia was established, and medical consult with Holy Cross was made. En route to the hospital, the patient's condition continued to improve, and the patient began to move his arms and even open his eyes. On arrival at Holy Cross, the patient was transferred to the emergency room staff, where the patient was intubated, stabilized, and taken to the cath lab. The patient was moved to the intensive care unit, where his condition continued to improve. He was extubated the next day. Thanks to the teamwork, skills, and knowledge of the crews on the scene and the staff of Holy Cross Hospital, the patient was discharged home to his grateful family on October 3rd with no neurological deficits.